That's when we stand up and show what true
this country.
When they come for Los Angeles, that's when we stand up and show what true solidarity looks like. So talk to us about what solidarity looks like and what is your call to action for people watching.
I think it's kind of crazy that they would execute this kind of raid in Los Angeles the same day the president is talking about withholding our own tax dollars from us, right? Instead of helping the 1 in 8 Americans who live in California, they're demonizing our state and attacking our people. That is when we rally together. We rallied together after the LA fires and during the fires when we provided mutual aid and resources for people who need it. Now seeing our brothers and sisters unjustly detained, terrorized, and scared, we will step up. We're tired of seeing our kids in our schools detained. We're tired of being afraid. If all you have to do is attack folks at Home Depot, then you're not doing a great job of governing this country.
This is Assemblyman Mr. Bryan. He's mad I brought up the reparations vote. So he's preventing me from speaking, and he's trying to block my access here. Why are you so upset?
You vote for 3 strikes. You put black folks in prisons, but
here
now
for
you
3
want to be a reparations person. But you won't vote for the bill. I supported the bill all session.
Then bring the bill.
Will you vote for the bill, Mr.
Bring the
Senator?
bill.
Will you vote for the bill?
Bring it up.
Will you vote for reparations?
Bring it
I
up.
would love it.
Bring it up.
Let's vote for reparations
Bring
together.
it up. Bring it up.
You in, Bill?
Bring it up.
I didn't think so.
Bring it up. I'll vote for it.
All right, everyone. Welcome. This is Men the Mass Media Group. Just going to check our audio to make sure that we are okay here. Okay, audio is good. Audio is good. So let's go ahead and remove the overlay and introduce our guest today. She's going to have a wonderful presentation, Miss Carolyn Essex. And let's see here. Could we go do this? All right. I guess let's switch it out here. One more. There you go. All right. Miss Carolyn Essex, how you doing today, ma'am?
I'm doing great, Moya. I'm doing really great. Good to see you and be with you today.
Wonderful. Thanks for coming. And how you doing today, Kim?
Oh, I'm doing all right. You know, seeing Isaac Bryan always kills the vibe a little bit, but other than that, doing well.
All right. So Carolyn, I know we got to get into it because we know that you have a tight schedule. I think we all have a tight schedule. So for those that don't know, you can please introduce yourself.
Sure, absolutely. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Carolyn Essex. I am a messaging and brand strategist. I work with various advocacy groups that push for legislative policies to heal harm stemming from human and civil rights violations. So that could be anywhere from, of course, from slavery to mass incarceration and everything in between that has been experienced by Black American freedmen families and their descendants.
You're on mute, Moya.
I am on mute. Okay. I know we usually do housekeeping, but once again, we're on a tight schedule. So should we get right into the presentation?
I'm sure if you would like, we can get right into the presentation. Okay. I have been asked several times to give a training on running for office. After running twice for office myself, there's nothing like real experience, but training is very important. And I've been trained by Emerge Nevada and California political training programs. They both were 6-month training programs. And we went everything from A to Z, everything that you could imagine that is involved in a political campaign. We went over it from getting started to putting your team and committee together, you're getting your FPPC numbers, all the things that we will talk about today. And I will say this is a mini version of a full political training that I will give next week, but it will give you vital information that will help you get started if you're interested in running for office, or if you would like to help a candidate run and win for office. We have found that in our advocacy work that it is vital that we now put people in place that not only understand what we're up against, but are deeply connected to the past, to the present, and the future, so that we can put forth vital laws and legislations that's going to heal the harms of slavery, mass incarceration, Jim Crow, genocide, all the atrocities that have happened to Black American freedmen families. So let's go to the next slide.
All right, so Carolyn, can you see the screen?
I can see the screen. Okay. So this is how to run for office in California. So even though the overview can be used in other states, we are focusing on California because that's where we do our advocacy work and that's where we live. Okay, so the number one thing you're going to do before you run for office, you're going to ask yourself questions. You're going to ask yourself, you know, why do I want to run for office? It involves several steps, and you need to determine the office and decide which position you want to run for. A local, state, or federal. Each has a different requirements and procedures. So it's very important that you ask yourself, hey, am I running for state assembly? Am I running for state senator? Am I running for city council? These are the things you want to ask yourself. You want to ensure that the office you're considering has a jurisdiction to affect the change you wish to make. For example, if you really want to repair harms against humanity, you know, a city council seat may limit your ability to make that kind of difference. In most cases, a state legislative or a congressional seat would be better positioned to make difference on reparations or reparative rights or human and civil rights policies. Okay. If you want to develop your community, you can go to the next slide, to the next couple of slides. Thank you. If you want to develop your community with more parks, libraries, and new businesses, city council would be a much better seat to accomplish these types of things. City council is a very important seat. If you are a good city council person, you are able to bring resources to your city, to your district, and your city might have several city council city districts that they split up within one district. So you might have 9 or 8, 9 or 10 city council, right. and then that's the one that you're gonna run for. City council is a great seat to start with. Did you have a question, Memoria?
Oh no, I thought you cut out a little bit, but yeah, we got the tail end of it.
It's better for your schools. and students. Then, of course, a school board seat would be
Well, Carolyn, you might be cutting out a little bit. The last word I heard
office
was
you
school
want.
board
That's
seat.
a lot.
Well, I think Carolyn is freezing up a little
Yeah, I
bit.
think Carolyn.
It would be.
Carolyn, do you want to try to go out a studio and come back to see if that might help refresh your camera and your audio? Okay. So while Carolyn is, I think she's going to go ahead and go in and come back, or go out and come back in. Hopefully that will help out with some of the audio anomalies here right now. But in the interim, I don't know if everybody's been, on the up and up on what's happening here in the world that we live in. Yeah, we actually did a story. If you haven't taken a look at the fake reparations, we actually talked about the current CLBC, what's happening right now here in California, and also out there in Maryland with Wes Moore. And supposedly, I think, Kim, I don't know if you've been following on what's happening in Tulsa, but supposedly the mayor out there is actually trying to, quote unquote, supposedly have a reparations package out there, but there's no cash payments from my understanding. And as well, I don't think they're even addressing, the two current living, I think there's only two left current living members in the massacre. Is that from what you understand? Have you been or did you hear about that at all?
I heard about it. Once they said no cash reparations, I kind of tapped out. Sounds like it's going to be programmatic, this, that, the other, anything but cash reparations.
Right. Very true. Okay.
Like Carolyn's back. I'm going to add her to the stage.
All right, Carolyn, you are back.
All righty.
Okay, so
doesn't look like
start where we left off.
All right. Oh, well, she was back. She sounded good too. All right. Hopefully we can get her back soon. Hey, this is what happens when you go live,
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Get her back on here.
All right, this is better. I switched devices. My laptop is old.
It's all good. It's all good. We hear you wonderful.
I did go ahead and switch devices. Sorry about that.
You are good to go whenever you're ready.
Okay, now I'm having trouble calling up my combo. Hold on a second, guys. Sorry.
No worries.
It's tab. Okay, so where I left off at, you guys, we were talking about ensuring that the office you're considering has the jurisdiction to affect change that you want to make, and we were talking about being elected in the state as assembly person, a senator, a governor, a mayor. And we were really focusing on city council and school board because that is a great springboard to becoming an elected official. City council, of course, because you develop your community with more parks, libraries, and new businesses. City council is very embedded into the community. If you've ever been to a city council meeting, you're able to address the agenda or non-agenda items as a community member. You're able to talk to your city council person, your mayor, everyone that is governing your city. So city council is a great springboard. And then there's school board, which is a great springboard as well. So maybe you want to do things better for your schools and your students. School board is perfect for that. Again, the reason why city council and school board are so great to springboard your candidacy, because you're on a weekly basis engaging with the community. They are up close and personal. You always have events, and so you're able to meet and greet and do all kinds of sorts of fun things. It is a very difficult and hard, tedious job. You're always working. Always 24/7. I don't know when they get a day off, really. So other offices you can run for. Here's a list of them. This is just a just a list of offices you can run for. There's other offices you can run for, but these are the most, I think, popular offices that people run for, and they are high profile. Your governors, your lieutenant governors, your secretary of state, your attorney general, state controller, state treasurer, insurance commissioner, state superintendent, but the list goes on and on and on. So
Carolyn, if I could say just real quick,
sure.
I don't know if anybody knows, but Senator Stephen Bradford, who was the author of the California American Freedom Affairs Agency last year that got blocked by the CLBC, he is currently, and please correct me if I'm wrong, Carolyn and Kim, he's actually going to be running for the insurance commissioner next year.
I actually heard that. I actually heard and saw that. I think I saw a social media announcement from him. Quite surprising. But again, he is looking for a place to fit in where he can make the most difference. So I wish him well. And we will be definitely following his campaign and supporting him. We are forever grateful to him for authoring such a great reparations legislation for an agency, for a freedmen agency that would distribute reparations. So we're very grateful for that. But yeah, I did hear about that.
Yes, that's luck to Bradford. I was just was wondering what happened to his bid for lieutenant governor, which is what he announced, after last session. But best of luck with his future endeavors. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yes. It's probably politics as usual. If you belong to a major party, they will come to you in some of these high profile offices and ask you to run or not to run. They run the show, and even though you want to run for office, if it isn't aligned with what they want as a party, they will come to you and ask you not to run. So just, beware of that. If they're intimidated by your presence, and you are part of that party, that's another thing that goes with being a part of our political parties. So
interesting.
Mm-hmm. So each office, federal, state, or county, has a registration or filing process. Running for county office, filing appointments begin with your county clerk. And I will provide all links. I think, Amoya, you have the links that I provided. But there will be links that you can go to and discover when you need to file for your candidacy. Now, there's a lot of candidates campaigning right now, but the actual filing date has not been released for 2026, and I don't know why, but I believe it's because they're having a special election on June 24 for District 63, AB 63, which was the district that Bill Esley was the assembly person for, and of course he resigned from there so that he could be promoted by President Trump. So
are those candidates set for District 63?
They are. The candidates are set. June 24th is voting for that primary, for that seat at special election. That person will that person will take that seat for the rest of the session, and then they will have to run again.
Okay.
So maybe in 2026, I'm not sure if his is one of the districts that have to run again in 2026. But if it is, whoever wins will have to run again in 2026. Okay. So it's like,
so you're thinking that the filing deadlines may be announced after this special election.
Yes. And so I said that to say, because it's so important. A lot of people you see campaigning and doing things that look like that they are campaigning. Yes, they can do that. They can have fundraisers and everything like that. But they have to be under FPPC rules and regulations, and we will cover that later. So let's get ready to run for office. All elections, yes, the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. So if it's your dream to make a difference in your community, then that's going to be your future as long as you keep walking towards it. Okay. All elections lead to the Secretary of State. Dr. Shirley Weber, who many of us in California know well, is the Secretary of State. And so all elections lead to her office. There is an election division. And I don't know if you can go click on and go to that site, but the election division is where you find all of the information you need. Now, it's kind of difficult navigating it. So my suggestion is that you get the Secretary of State's phone number, which we will give to you. We have it in this webinar. And make sure you call that office frequently if you have a question, because there's so many rules and regulations to running for office that you just want to be on top of things. But this website is the one you will go to. And if you scroll down, you're going to want to go all the way down to, let's see.
All right, Karen, let me go back to the site. Hold on a second.
Mm-hmm.
Back to the page.
Okay. Yeah, you will go all the way down to primary election on this site. This is a very, very important site to be on. That they will have all the information basically that you will need. And it's way down past the middle of the screen. Okay. And if you want to select primary election, there you go. So this talks about what is a voter nominated office. Okay. Very important to know what that is. So in California, the two top candidates open Primary Act, which took effect January 1st, 2011, created voter-nominated offices. The top 2 candidates open. Primary Act does not apply to candidates running for U.S. President, county central committees, or local offices. So the top 2 candidates that come out of the primary will go to the general election. So you always have to primary first, and then later that year in November, your name will be on the ballot to be voted into office. So most of the offices that were previously known as partisan are now known as voter-nominated offices. Voter-nominated offices are state constitutional offices, state legislative offices, U.S. Senate, U.S. congressional. The only partisan offices now are the offices of the U.S. President and the County Central Committee. And you have to be elected to the County Central Committee, but that's a whole other talk show. But,
all right. So Carolyn, just real quick, and can I jump back to the presentation?
Yes.
Okay. So
Absolutely.
let me jump back to the presentation, but I do have a question about this. Do you have to be a member of the 2 current major political parties, the Democrat or the Republican Party, in order to run in the primaries?
No, you do not. No, you do not. Okay, I lost my screen. Change.
All right, so we're going to go back to where we left off here.
Okay. So right at the election division.
All right, so I'm trying to get there by typing it in here, but it's not allowing me, so I got to scroll back down. We're going to get there, family. Thanks for your patience.
Yeah, not a problem. I really appreciate being able to give this information to folks, because I know people are interested in making a difference and running for office, and we need them. We need our advocates to transition from advocacy, visiting elected officials, to being elected officials. That's what we need, and that's what we're pushing for.
All right, so do you want to continue with this slide, or you want to keep?
Oh, the one previous. The one previous. So this is just another link to the county elections office. This link will be provided to you. And the county election offices is for the mayor, for the board supervisors. So you will file with your county election office. And this will take you to all the counties in California. Okay, so if you're in Alameda County, which is up north, Oakland, it has your county clerk and register of voters office. That's where you're going to go to file for your candidacy. If you're running for a city council seat or something like that. Okay. And also for mayor. So if you're running for mayor of your city, you're going to go to, everyone who's running for office is going to go to their local county clerk's office. I believe the one in Los Angeles County is in Norwalk. So that's the one you would go to.
All right.
Okay. So I think we discussed this a little bit. If you're planning to run in 2026 for state assembly or state senator, you must call the elections department in your city and request an appointment in November 2025. This is so you can sign your candidate forms. These forms have to do with what office you're running for, your fundraising compliance, policy, your filing fee, and the amount of signatures required to qualify as a ballot-ready candidate. All very, very important things that you'll have to do. This right here is key. Like I said before, they have not released the filing dates they haven't released the filing dates for filing for your candidacy in 2026 because of the special election. But they do have a small schedule, which they know that they're going to keep, is the schedule for filing your in lieu of signatures. So there's a fee connected to filing for office. And those fees run around $1,000 or $1,200, $1,500. It's based on 1% of what the salary is for that office. And so we will provide links to that information as well. We will go in more detail when we give the full campaign training next week because it's a lot of information. But yes, so you will have to, number one, make sure you're going to call the Secretary of State. Call them often. They don't mind. They do not mind. Okay.
Yeah, and it looks like you provided a number too up there, Carolyn, that 916 number. Is that?
Yes, that's the Secretary of State's number.
Okay.
And like I said, the filing schedule is not available. So please keep that number if you are going to run in 2026, because that is a very important number, along with all the links that we're going to provide you. Okay.
Do you have a general idea when the filing schedule deadline usually is?
It usually is right around February of the election year.
Mm-hmm.
But they change things. To me, it's not like it was in 2024. So we were able to file a lot earlier. And that's helpful to a candidate, of course. So that's why people are out campaigning right now. But what happens is they can campaign, but what a voter is going to see of an official candidate, they will see that candidate's name on the Secretary of State's website. So the Secretary of State will list all the qualified candidates.
Okay.
Yes.
So as of now, even though you're out campaigning, your name is not listed on the official filing record. Got it.
Exactly. Your name is not listed. You will not find the candidates' names there. And I called the Secretary of State, and they said they had not released the filing dates yet. So that's very important. So once you've completed your candidate filing appointments, we're going to talk about, we're going to move like in the future. So say you completed your candidate filing appointment at your county election division, you will have from December 11th to February 2nd. Do not quote me on these dates, but it is in that time period, give or take a few days. I think it's it's more in February or later in February, but this is what I got a couple of weeks ago. Okay, so you're going to complete your signature requirements. That's another thing that when you go to your appointment, they will tell you what your signature requirements are. The elections official will let you know the exact amount of signatures needed, and this amount can be from 40 to 2,000 signatures. So if you go all the way up to 2,000 signatures, then you can waive your filing fee. And I believe that they're allowing candidates to still do that. But we will not know until we make our appointment with the Secretary of State and sit down and fill out and sign our candidate paperwork with them. That is when they will tell you exactly the exact amount of signatures you need, the fee that you're going to pay, and the time period you have to get those signatures. Okay.
So
Have you
Carolyn,
already, oh, sorry.
no, go ahead. Okay.
Have you already had your Secretary of State appointment?
No, I have not, because they haven't released the appointments.
Mm-hmm.
So I was instructed to call in November and make my appointment for December.
And Carolyn,
Yes.
so for the signatures that are required, or if that's what a candidate wants to do, does it have to be within the district you want to run for?
Yes, those signatures have to be in the district, but it can be any party.
And you don't find out how many signatures you need until you sit down for your appointment. Your appointment is in December, recommended for December. We still don't have a date for candidates actually filing. It just sounds like that doesn't give a candidate very much time to collect signatures before the filing deadline.
It's more than enough time, actually, because the election won't be until March or June, something like that. Yeah, it seems a little unfair, but that is what they're giving us. Like, I had like only 2 weeks to get my signatures.
Wow.
And the signatures that they gave, the signature amount that they gave me was 40. They had to be 40 validated signatures. So that person had to have been registered voter in your district. I was told that they had to be within your party, but now they're saying it could be any party. So once again, these are things that make it difficult to run because they change the rules.
Right.
And it seems to me like a way to confuse people so that they don't run for office. To me, I hate to say it, but it just seems like they're controlling things, so that people you just got to be on it.
Stay ready.
Yeah, you have to stay ready. Exactly.
You ain't got to get ready. So, Carol, I have a quick question about this slide here, and we got about 15 minutes.
Okay.
And so what I think we're going to go ahead and do, because I know we have quite a few slides that even go through, and I know this is a truncated version. But after this, I'm going to make sure that we put all the links in there, and I know you're going to have the Zoom presentation. So if you want people to actually attend that, we're going to go ahead and put that in the description of this video after the replay, so people can click on those links. But I do have a question about this slide that we have up here. It says the Fair Political Practice Commission. Can you explain the process of the commission and just kind of what it does?
Excuse me. Yes, this is very, very vital and important. The FPPC, that's the Fair Political Practice Commission, that is the number that a candidate gets to put on their digital, hard copy, whatever they have. They put that number on there, and that says that they are under FPPC regulations. They have a financial they have to disclose their finances, the expenditures, and their donations. And so that's what the FPPC number is for. You'll see that number at the bottom of a candidate's form, a candidate's literature that will say, this committee, this FPPC statement reads as follows: paid for by committee name, committee to elect so-and-so, the year, and then the FPPC number. So that's, if you notice, you'll see that on candidates' material, their brochures, their lit. their door hangers, their digital ads, everything. This you can do now. It allows you to raise funds for your candidacy. It gives the public notice that you are in compliance. Okay, so just to recap, I want to do a recap, okay? Because we've gone over a whole lot of stuff. Just to recap, you're going to determine the office you're going to run for. You're going to meet eligibility requirements, which is you have to be a resident of the district that you're running in, and a resident of California. You have to meet a minimum age. It varies by office, 18 for most state and local offices. You have to be a registered voter in California. Some offices have additional qualifications such as citizenship status and other credentials. You're going to file a statement of candidacy and nomination papers. You're going to file that with the California Secretary of State or your local election office. You're going to complete necessary forms, including a statement of economic interest. That is your FPPC documentation. It is the statement of economic interest, and it regulates your donations and your expenditures. So you have to file reports. And that's another thing we'll talk about, because you're going to need a treasurer to help you do that. Even though some candidates are their own treasurer, which is not a problem, you can do that. But if you have a treasurer and a campaign manager, they are going to keep you on schedule with regulations and compliance. Okay.
So I think this is the recap that you're talking about, right? Okay.
Yes, and I was given a little bit more detail. But yes, you want your campaign to be in compliance. So like I said, if you're running for office in 2026, you can go and get your FPPC number now. There are links. You just Google FPPC, and it'll take you right to the link, and it'll tell you. So there's two forms, the 410 and the 497, I believe. But what I want to say about those two forms, those forms you will sign when you do your actual candidate filing. If you wait until then, but I'm suggesting you do it now if you're running in 2026. So that is going to be like one of the very first things you're going to do as a candidate. You're going to get with a treasurer, or you are going to go yourself and make sure that you have a FPPC number. Okay. So I hope that makes sense.
Totally. Carolyn, actually, I put the link to the FFPC for the people that want to take a look into it. And I think we might actually go do a deeper dive into the FFPC or FPPC, I should say, because I'm actually more interested in, like, I guess, how and who and how the commission gets, I guess, do they get like voted in, or how does the commission come about?
The commission has been around for eons. I'm not sure. I believe that they are a federal department. Let me look it up real quick.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, take your time. Yeah, because I think I want to, obviously we're just going through the candidate process, but I think I want to do a deeper dive to see like who actually these people are. I know we don't have time right now to go over that, but yeah, so we'll dive deeper into it. But yeah, I just had that question for you.
Absolutely. It is just one of the pillars of politics. It is, and like I said, it is there to regulate expenditures and donations. So it's just to make sure that you're not getting donations from Iraq,
right,
or you're getting too many donations from one person, you're getting too many donations amount from a PAC. It really regulates things to try and make it fair. Um, the FPPC is a California state agency. Is responsible for enforcing the state's campaign finance, conflicts of interest, and lobbying laws. So it gets into lobbying as well. If you're a lobbyist, I believe you have to have an FPPC number 2 because of the donations and whatever you're doing and the money that you get to do what you need to do. It monitors the campaign finances, activities, and disclosures. So it's enforcing the laws related to conflicts of interest in public officials. It was founded in 1974. And it was just founded by the state of California.
All right.
Okay.
Now, Carolyn, I do have, I believe, a link for the training that's coming up. Can I put that in the chat? You have a link that goes to like a Google Docs.
Oh, absolutely. So people
Okay,
can
gotcha.
sign up
All right.
and get all the information.
That was okay before, just posting stuff in there. Got to get their approval. All right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So family, I just put in the registration form. So for those that are interested in, signing up, because Carolyn's going to go way deeper into this, and I think it's going to be a great informational session that everybody wants to attend. So I did put that in the link. But I'm sorry, Carolyn. I know,
not a problem.
I know we're just on a busy and tight schedule, so I just want to make sure that we're just all on time. We want you to get to your stuff that you want to get to today. But we appreciate you coming through.
Yeah, I'm going to go see the Roots picnic. I'll be at the Roots picnic at Hollywood Bowl. I'm really excited about that. I've been waiting all year for it.
Have a wonderful time.
Yes, thank you. So, so all of these things have to be timed. So in the training, and I'm really glad that we're doing this today because it's showing me the areas that need to be fleshed out. So I really appreciate this today. It's helpful to me as well. We want to make sure we're giving good information. You're going to, when you file to become a candidate, your FPPC number, after you've completed that, your requirements, you probably need to get your team together. And so that's some of the next steps that you will be taking. And I'm gonna speed it up a little bit, even though we're doing good time. It's almost we have an hour at least. And so you want to have the right campaign team. Okay. So now these things cost, and in the training, we're going to go over how much these people make. They make thousands and thousands of dollars. Okay. So when you put together your team, that's not to say you might have an all volunteer campaign team because people believe in you. And so when you put together your team, you're going to have your treasurer, you're going to have your campaign manager, fundraiser, you're going to have, real important is your social media and messaging director, your graphic artist. These are the people that make your campaign come to life.
Which, by the way, that's what ETM Media Group does. Just saying. So if you ever need our services, reach out to us.
I love it. No. I love that, and it's in-house, in family, so that's wonderful. So you're also going to need a field organizer. That is something else we're going to dive into at the training. We have Dr. Quintus Jett. He is a former professor at Rutgers University. He is a great friend of mine, and I think we have met him before. I had him on Zoom before, but he has agreed to give us detailed information on getting out the vote, on finding your voters, who your voters are most likely to vote for you. and demographics and all of that great stuff, neighborhoods and all of that great stuff that you're going to need as a candidate to make sure that you're hitting hot spots, like a doctor trying to get that blood out. You're going to have to hit that spot to get those voters out for you, especially if you're running against an incumbent or somebody that has already been in politics. Okay, so we're going to go over all of that in the training, the volunteer coordinator, all of that. Yes.
So Carolyn, if it's okay, I think I want to wrap us up in about another 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay.
Could we go kind of talk about your campaign, if that's okay?
Sure.
I think you do have a slide here. Yes, no?
I think I put a slide in there.
Let me see. I'm just going to keep scrolling down here.
Yeah.
Okay, candidate training. By the way, Carolyn, this is an excellent presentation. I know we're kind of on a time crunch, but as I said before, for those that do want to join,
go back. There's another slide. Go back. Yeah.
Let me know when to stop.
That's the end. So here we go. I don't know why you don't see my my website on there.
What's your website?
It's CarolynJEssex.com.
All right, Carolyn J. Essex.
Yeah, I do have it on my file, but I may have the wrong color font, so it didn't show up.
Well, if you put it, can you put your website? Can you type it in our private chat here, and then I'll post it into the chat.
I'm actually not logged in. So.
Okay, let's see here. I just want to make sure I got. So can
it's
you?
myname.com.
Okay.
So CarolynJEssex.com. That is my website.
All right. Carolyn.
We had a question come in the chat real quick while he's doing that. For you, Carolyn, what is your campaign strategy for developing a reparations platform?
Wow, very great question. That is my number one reason for running. And so I've already authored drafts of a lump sum cash legislative bill, which talks only about cash reparations, which talks about the funding of the cash reparations. It talks about it talks about the implementation plan of the legislation. That is something that is missing in the CLBC's legislation. They do not have an implementation plan. So they don't have a vision for after they get the bill into law. They don't have the vision inside of the bill, which is embedded in the bill, that shows how they're going to phase the program out. That needs to be in the bill, and that's why these bills are weak. So the main reason why I'm running for office is to author those type of bills that have implementation plans and also have a metric of success. So that will be included in my legislation. You will see that we want a uptick of 20, 30, 40% Black businesses to come out of this legislation. And so we will have to budget for that. And there is existing numbers that we will use. We will use the existing numbers that they have for creating business programs for others, who the others are, not us. So I hope that answered your question.
Yeah. It's very encouraging to hear, that someone has a plan to tighten up some of these reparation initiatives and legislation and policy. So if you're in District 69, Assembly District 69, you know who to cast your vote for.
Yes, so I'm really excited about it. It is a very difficult thing to do. It does put a toll on you.
Yes, I can imagine. Carolyn, and I have a real quick question. I know we're trying to wrap things up, but you said that you ran for elected office twice prior for this particular seat. Did you run?
I did. So I ran for assembly in Nevada. That was in 2012, I believe. 2010. That was 2010 or 2012. I ran. I lived in Nevada. Had lived there for 10 years. Became a beloved pillar of the community, and I was tapped to run for that office. And I want to say that everything was going well until a person that was a native of Nevada, and her father was the first Black senator, decided to jump in at the last minute into my race. And so he campaigned for her. She was never seen, really. Everyone really never saw her. They saw me all the time, and they were pretty shocked that I did not win that election. But after the election, I found out why. Because her father was the first Black senator in Nevada. He had all of the pastors. They have a robust church community. They have thousands of churches. And they were not supporting me. They supported his daughter, of course. She was a native. I wasn't, even though I had been there for 10 years. And some of the things that I suggested that North Las Vegas do took them out of bankruptcy. It was just the reasons why I did not win that race. It was like 2-to-1 process. Then I ran again in California. California is way different from Nevada. In Nevada, I had a lot of support from the community, but in California, I have to find my way. So I did run again. I was a write-in candidate, and I didn't make it out of the primary, of course, because I was a write-in candidate. The two that ran was Josh Lowenthal, and there was a police officer that ran. And Josh Lowenthal, his father is a U.S. congressperson, former U.S. congressperson. So he is a legacy candidate. And I will say, being embedded in my community, no one likes him here. He does nothing for us, for the community. We rarely see him. He does nothing, put it that way. So.
And where is District 69, Carolyn?
So District 69 is part of Carson. It butts up against Mike Gibson's District 65. So it covers part of Carson, and then it moves into Long Beach, all of Long Beach, Signal Hill, and also Catalina Island. So I got to go campaign on
Catalina Island, huh?
Yes. But I provided a map, so thanks for putting that up. Yes, so you can see that it is a nice big chunk and very powerful place to be an elected official at. And so I'm kind of happy that I'm hearing that people don't like the incumbent. So that is encouraging.
All right.
Wonderful. Mm-hmm. All right, so yeah, family, please go to Carolyn's website and support. And we definitely want to do a follow-up, obviously, once, the campaign season starts happening. Because, Carolyn, you've been a great supporter of not only our platform, but, everything dealing with the reparations out here and so forth. And so we're definitely looking forward to you and others like you who are going to be running for their seats up in 2026.
Yes. When is the training again?
Next week.
Okay.
Next Saturday, 9 a.m. I think I put a slide in there as well.
All right, let me see if I can get to that slide.
It'll be a full virtual candidate training. And there is a RSVP link there. I hope I sent that to you as well.
Yeah, I put it in your
Yeah.
registration page, right, Carolyn?
Mm-hmm. Go back if
Yeah.
you're all the way into the templates.
All right, so let's see, write your topic. Yeah, for
It
some
should be the
reason
last slide. It should, yeah.
Is it the very last slide?
It should be the very last slide, and it'll have
All
my
right.
picture on there, and Dr.
Let me go
Quintus
back to the
Jet
very.
is on there as well.
Let me see. Okay, that's
unless I may have. You probably don't have it. Because
yeah, I may not have it.
I put it on after.
Gotcha.
I put it on after I sent the link to you. So
Okay.
you probably downloaded it or what have you. But I'll make sure that you get that. Let's see.
Yeah, let me see. I'm just gonna pull it up so everybody knows what it looks like. And then I put it actually in the chat, everybody. So you should be able to go to that registration page here. I'm gonna. Can everybody see?
Not January. June 14th, Saturday, June 14th.
Yep. So this is what the registration page should look like. It says Candidate Training 101 RSVP, and then it gives you some information about the Zoom link and how to register.
Absolutely. Looking forward.
All right. All right, family. Well, are there any more questions in here, Kim? I know we usually go through the comments, so if we can go through them real quick. I know we don't have a lot of comments today, but got to highlight the family, for supporting.
That would be great to hear some of the comments.
All right, so shout out to Raphael in the building. Always love Raphael. Ooh, thank you for becoming a member. We really appreciate that, Raphael.
Nice.
Shout out to Raphael, man. Raphael, man, there's no words that can express our appreciation from Ms. Raphael, man. Great supporter in what we do here. And as always, Darlene in the building. Shout out to Darlene Luke. We appreciate you. The person who heavily contributes to the Men in Mass Media Group. We miss you, Darlene. Hope you're doing well. Excellent information. Definitely. I think this question got answered, no?
Yes, that's the one they asked. Reparations platform.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm also an environmentalist, so a lot of the support I have in the community are from environmentalists. I'll be speaking at City Council on June 10th on the Tuesday evening. Well, Tuesday afternoon we'll be there around 4:30. And I'll be speaking on Elon Musk. He is a tenant he leases property and land from Long Beach, and he is an economic disaster. He does not care if he destroys the environment, put it that way. He does not care. He's in Texas destroying their environment and their water quality, their air quality. And he's also a profound racist. And so the LGBTQ plus AI community is always there. And I noticed that they're always talking about Elon Musk and how he is homophobic and everything like that, which is great. But we don't have any Black people in there talking about how he is a complete racist.
Wow.
Hell, Hitler all day.
Maybe with all these new developments and the fallout, he'll get himself on the deportation list.
That would be wonderful. So I will be there Tuesday night to let them know we don't appreciate his anti-Black racism. He's a horrible tenant. He is going to cause disease and destruction. That's what he does. So.
Oh, shout out. All right, so we have a few more, and then we're going to get out of here. Maybe, Carolyn, we'll have you back on the platform sometime in the future. We actually can talk about the environment, since you are a heavy advocate in that. Carolyn, are you familiar with Philip Scott, the host of African Diaspora News
Oh,
Channel?
I am. Listen to him all the time. We make sure that we tune in to Philip Scott. And if you have any connections, thank you, Michael. Thank you so much. Donating to my campaign. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Michael.
Because I need to get lit out. That's what I'm gearing up to do, is get my lit done and have it out, because there's a lot of festivals and a lot of stuff going on, and I just need for that to be out in the streets, saturating my name in Long Beach and beyond. And that is something that a candidate has to do.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Michael.
All right, family. Let me see. Oh, okay, so he basically says, "Thing, have you thought about being interviewed by Philip Scott?" Yeah, so you answered that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Carolyn. So, are there any words you like to say? And then we'll go ahead and wrap it up, and I'll let Kim say something, and I'll take us out of here.
I just want to say I'm proud of everyone. That everyone in their lane, everyone is in excellence, and everyone is contributing and making sure that we are pushing for justice, and I'm just proud to be a part of it. I really, really am. I'm glad we have a lot of people doing this, and I'm really, really appreciative of everyone that is giving their time and treasure.
All right, Miss Kim.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you, Carolyn, for coming on, and thank you for your advocacy work. I do have a quick question. Is there kind of like a barometer number? I know some people spend more, some people spend less, but is there like a average number that people can anticipate on spending for their campaign for state office here in California?
The state office, we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars, and to some people are spending millions of dollars. You will make your salary is like 150,000 a session, and so it is something that people they want to make that type of money. And so I think a lot of people go after the money and how much they can make as an elected official, and not so much as trying to, help their community. After they get there, they see all the glitter.
So $100,000 is really the floor if you want to.
That's the floor. Now, I will say that creativity has a value. And so that's something else that we can talk about. But creativity has a value. And I'll just say, for one example, when I was in Nevada, I had a graphic artist that put my face and my name on a graphic, and it looked like a billboard. And we flooded Facebook with it, and everyone thought I had a billboard. They wanted to know, where's your billboard at? Where's your billboard at?
You're looking at it.
Yeah, it just looks so it looks so impressive. They were like, "We love your billboard. We love it." So that type of creativity gave me a lot of attention. Your graphic artists, yeah. So we can recreate that.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, family.
Because we all need to be thinking about putting our names in this hat if we want to affect change.
Absolutely, yeah. And I'm here for you. I'm here for everyone. Don't be afraid to step forward and run for office, especially if you have support and you have people like myself who are ready to get in the ditch with you. I am absolutely ready to get into the ditches. So don't be afraid.
All right. Well, thanks for the words of encouragement.
Absolutely. And just to kind of elaborate what you were saying, Carolyn, people should never get discouraged because of the money, right? I mean, the money obviously is important, right? But your sense of purpose is the most important thing. So with social media and with other tools that people can use, I know over here at ETN Media Group, I mean, that's what we do all day, figure out how we can go about trying to get the information out, to the masses of people. That's why we have EMEND, shout out to Kim, EMEND instead of AMEND, just trying to change the scope and the trajectory where we're trying to head. So for those, and this is just even outside of campaigning, right? If you have something that you want to do, there is no excuse as far as I'm concerned right now for anybody that wants to do anything that they want to do in this life, right? So if you have even a tad bit of support, then I encourage everybody to keep going and just to keep moving, because we only have one life to do it. And so if you're called to do this, just go ahead and do this. And that's what you're doing, Carolyn. We really appreciate you.
Well, I appreciate you. Thank you very much.
All right, and have fun. The Roots concert, you say?
Yeah, at the Hollywood Bowl. The Roots.
All the ice melee going out there in LA.
I know, but I'm anticipating that. Hopefully, people are downtown and not in Hollywood.
All right,
it's crazy.
Have a great time.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Hollywood
Bowl's excellent. I enjoyed the concerts when I was living down there in LA, going to the Hollywood Bowl. Roots is a great. I'm glad they're still performing. I didn't even know that they were still performing. Good for them.
Yeah, well, they have the Roots Picnic tour. I heard the Philadelphia one was bad, whoever the producer was, but Hollywood Bowl, they're not gonna miss. Wow.
Okay. All right, family. Well, thanks for coming through. And as always, please like, share, and subscribe. We try to be your number one sources for reparations and news or any support. Hit that bell, hit the notifications, spread the word, about EMEND the Mass Media Group, because, we're trying to do what we can, the best way we can do it. So on that note, family, we'll see you next time. I know we have a couple of things coming up for this, I believe the Assembly floors and the Senate floors, the respective bills are happening that are coming up. So
start looking for calls to action regarding, these bills moving to the Assembly from the Senate, specifically SB 437 and SB 518. We need to kill those bills. So stay tuned to ETN Media Group for all of your updates and calls to action. And I just want to say happy Juneteenth month to everybody. I see lots of activities going around for Juneteenth. So hopefully we can get out there and spread the word about reparations.
That's right.
Absolutely. All right, family. We love you to life. As always, peace and reparations, and we'll see you next time.
The way it currently stands, forced labor, slavery takes precedence over rehabilitation and public safety.
Oh, by the way, while the Biden administration gives reparations to everyone but freed people, look at the billions he has run over to Ukraine.
We don't have black grocery stores because if you think about it now, just to get in that supply chain, it's almost unheard of.
They don't want the truth to get out. Okay? I don't want to know what my family did or what all these people did and all this stuff like that. Okay? You read that 500-page report.
There's this thing called white superiority and black inferiority. That mindset allows all of the behaviors that we've seen across generations, allows for the construction of these policies and practices and systems and structures that continue to oppress us. This is not a handout. This is a debt that is owed.
Allensworth was like the internet of his time in 1904, 1905.
The total black population in California is about 2.6 million, and then of that, the descendants compose about 2.2 million of that. So California, with a multi-billion-dollar surplus, can absolutely afford to satisfy the international terms for reparations, beginning with compensation.
Any financial obstacle that exists that impedes the success of increasing financial prosperity needs to be dealt with and eliminated.
no matter where we've been, no matter what part of this fight we've been in, we've been harmed, and we've had harm done to us specifically.
When I got to Los Angeles, this was some of the worst segregation I'd ever seen. And remember, I'm telling you, I'm from Mississippi.
Because as you can see, I'm giving you broken history right now, you know? But I had to give it to you guys today. I said, no, I got to show them this because it's so precious and nobody really knows about it.
Black people don't have that kind of luxury. Our historically black communities have been redistricted multiple times.
Now listen, if you can't handle the TR roof, don't tune in.